Hey, it's Dr. Rowe. Hope you are well. Just get my microphone adjusted slightly, get a bit closer to me here. So here I am, head down, going through a second draft now that I'm working with Harminder on. Those of you that follow me on the podcast with Harminder on the Seekardo show. And we're working on this new ebook that's coming out regarding CWI. And of course, I'm fresh off the back of the CWI live event. And massive subject that's been coming up again and again is one of the components in the level 2 elements of CWI. Actually, let me just put this up for those of you that aren't familiar with it, because I know quite a few probably aren't. So if you look at the screen just for a minute, you'll see there's like an inner radial, a middle radial, we call that level 2, and then there's the third level, which is the outer radial, that's level 3. So if you're looking at the green area, which is you, them, the person that you're communicating with, and I just want to pick one of these components, connection. So we had 80 people on this last weekend. And one of the things that came out, and it came out from the last 2 events we ran, was that a lot of people forget to do this, to get the connection with the person they're talking to. So let me come back on the screen just for a minute so you can see me. And I started to ask people what the impact of this was. Now, I've done this face-to-face with countless people over the years, but more specifically, as we get into this area of communication with people in business, what's it cost you? And it's a huge cost. So number one, missed clients. People that just didn't come through the door. The way you were communicating through your social media, the way that you might have been communicating on videos that you've recorded, possibly clients coming to you or potential clients coming to you, and that connection is lost, and it dramatically changes the way people perceive you. And unless you're coming from an authentic place and they believe in what you're offering, they believe in your service, and they have that trust, they're not going to go any further. And connection is the first step to getting actual influence with people, to getting to the sale, to getting them to say yes to whatever it is you want them to come through the door and do with you. And most people don't get this, so they'll go hi, they'll try and introduce themselves, and quite often they'll jump straight to, in my system, the 6th big component area. 6th. They go 1 to 6 and they miss out all the ones in between. And that, of course, is the challenge. The pain of this is huge. I mean, we're talking about people that said that it affected their personal lives on an intimate level, but from a business perspective, hundreds of thousands of pounds of lost revenue because clients go elsewhere and you can't understand. You're working and working and working. You put lots of money behind your marketing, maybe trying to get the message out there, and you can't seem to quite make the connection with people to get them to say yes to whatever it is you're offering them. Those of you that invest, for example, in businesses where you need angel funding and money being brought to the table, think about how many times you might have pitched or presented or gone in front of an audience, and that was a chance to really get people to buy into you and to give money to your business or to become a joint venture partner, whatever it is. Lost customers, lost because your front, your marketing's been skewed in the wrong direction because you didn't get that connection. Unless you get connection, you can't create impact. If you can't create impact, you can't influence people to buy from you. So I have these 38 components, as you know, in the system that I've got. If you saw the diagram there, I'll just pull it up again actually to show you for those of you that aren't familiar with it. So this outer ring here, in connection, we're talking about this area here. These are the 4 on the outside. I'm not sure if my mouse is showing or not. And one of those, of course, is style. So let me come back off again. I can see a thumb went up there. Hopefully it's somebody that might have been with me this weekend. Which style are you using? Okay, so one of the things, again, that's come out of this is I think we had 1 or 2 like lecturers on this weekend that were like, oh my gosh, I realised I've sort of been in one style, or maybe 1 and a bit styles of delivery. When I go through these 4 styles of delivery, in fact, a good thing to do would be to take my communications test. I believe I've put a link in here, hopefully I have, in this live release. If you haven't taken it, go and take the test. The test is completely free. There's no other test like it. It's completely unique, and it will literally highlight you to the key component right now, the key major component that you need to be working on. And it could be here, it could be right in here in communication, in connection with people. So one of these areas is connection. If it comes back that test tells you that connection is one of the areas that's showing up as the weakest area for you, or the area that you need to do your most work on, then for all you know, it might be your delivery style. And what if you've been using the wrong style to hook people, to get the connection with them, to get a sense of empathy with them? And it might be that you're just very one-dimensional. For example, one of those styles is the messenger. And the messenger is the person that delivers content. And the other person starts to go, and they glaze over. And you're there for 10 minutes and they've glazed over. Imagine doing an hour of that. So it's knowing how to move between these amazing styles really gracefully, and at the same time, and look at that, I've gone all unclear on you there. Am I back again? Yeah. And at the same time being authentic and making sure you observe them. So you're keeping that level of observation there, just enough to move them on. Because if you lose them at the wrong point, it's hard to get people back. So if you're watching this and you run a business, or you're going into business, you're in a career, job, it's very, very costly to not have this connection. So I want you to think about that. And if you haven't taken the test, go and take it. Because the output of the test, you'll get a video from me telling you what you need to start working on, as well as a description of some of the key things to do there. And if connection comes up, rather than beat yourself up, say, right, what do I need to do to start to really get connection with people, which will then pull people in, whether it's on a 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 5 minute, a 10-minute video online, or whether it's a face-to-face meeting that you're looking to try and secure a customer, or it might be in front of an audience and you're wanting to get that connection quickly. It's a really important component to your communication skills. All right, hopefully that was useful. Go and take the test. Take the test.